Hey guys, welcome back to Overtakes. This is Misfit.
And I'm Cal.
And we're here with the second half of our power rankings. We are doing 11 to 20, and we are going to get started. And then we're going to do some match previews at the end.
Yeah.
Get you guys ready for the weekend. So, all right, let's hit 11 through 13.
All right. Who did you have there at 11?
This is where it gets messy.
Yeah. we're a little bit different here,
yeah,
but it's
they're
also
all interchangeable.
Right.
Kind of. I keep saying that, but 11 I have Toronto, 12 I have Paris, and 13 I have the Spark, who made a big jump up.
Yeah. I have at 11 I have Paris. At 12 I have Shanghai. And at 13, I have the Hangzhou Spark. Again, that made a big jump for me.
Yeah.
Really, our big difference is we have Toronto and Shanghai flip-flopped.
Yeah.
As much as I am a big fan of Toronto, a lot of their issues are really starting to worry me.
Yeah.
And I have more faith in what Paris is able to do, more so than what Toronto is able to.
Yeah.
Or actually Shanghai.
Shanghai still, they look wonky sometimes, but right now they look better than Toronto. I will give you that. I just have faith in Toronto kind of turning this around.
I feel like Shanghai has more of a potential to move up. And they're just on an upward trend, whereas Toronto is very much on a downward trend.
Yeah.
With some signs of slowing that down. But they still got a lot of work to do.
And their schedule is pretty rough.
Yeah, they've got a brutal schedule, which is not going to help.
Yeah, they got San Francisco this week, so that's most likely going to be another loss. Because I don't think San Francisco is going to take a nap.
No. And not after, not the way that they've looked. They are determined to sweep the stage. I think is their main goal, is sweeping the stage, honestly. And then going into the playoffs and continuing their sweep.
Yeah. And so, who do we really want to talk about in this three? I mean, we spent a lot of time talking about Toronto's problems.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Hangzhou for a little bit.
Yeah. This team, probably, I mean, we did talk about their win against Boston a decent amount. But honestly, the biggest thing that has been the integration, the final integration of Goushway, I think, having him in consistently has made a huge difference for this team. And then,
much like Gesture, putting him on Winston,
yes,
a lot more is helping them out.
Yes, for sure. And then on top of that, finally getting to see Crystal.
Yeah, and he's phenomenal.
And him getting consistent playtime as well.
And he won every map that he was in.
Yep.
And we were fans of like what he did too, like watching the World Cup.
Yeah.
We were like, this guy's gonna be, this guy's going to be good.
And that's, I think, at this point, Hangzhou, they're probably not going to make the stage playoffs, but after this stage, if they can finish with a over 500 record,
if they
can finish at 4-3, they're going to still be in there and have a shot at getting into the overall playoffs.
Yeah.
And if they can kind of take what they're learning right now and then figure out their top lineup and go basically what London did about this time last year.
And say, all right.
And say, this is the team that we're rolling forward with from here on out. These are our 6 guys that are going to get the play time, barring unforeseen circumstances, injury, and whatnot. That, I really feel like that's the move that they need to make.
Yeah, and I think there were some questions I had about some of the play. Like, Rhea kind of was on a milk carton for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Bebe and IDK were kind of okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to judge the damn DPS because they're not DPS for most of the time.
Right.
But I think something clicked when Crystal went in there, though. I mean, he got to play some DPS stuff, but
even his Brigitte was
I was going to say
fantastic. And like he was getting clutch stuns and like he was getting boops with his shift, like.
Yeah, he was doing a fantastic job.
He was just doing work and just doing the dirty work.
Yeah, and Goushway is more comfortable. You can tell he's more comfortable playing Winston.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And that makes a huge difference.
Oh, yeah.
I think because of that, it's kind of helping elevate the play of the rest of the team as well.
Yeah.
And then you get that probably one of the most clutch Lucio plays we're going to see this year.
Oh, that IDK play,
with
yes.
the IDK booping color hex off the map while he has grab.
Yeah.
Like, huge. I mean, Boston was ready.
That was Boston.
They were waiting for him to come back, and they were gonna take the point and probably win the game and the map at that point.
Yeah, they were. Boston was gonna win that, but
him booping him off just completely changed everything and totally turned the tides. And that was, that was the most clutch Lucio play we're ever gonna see.
And they looked so much better than they had for like the previous probably 5 games.
Yeah.
There was just more of a togetherness. They were, they seemed to be on the same page. There was no problems with like grabs and things like that. Cause I thought they played 3-3 better than I had seen them play.
Oh, for sure.
Since the first week when they kind of didn't actually.
Right.
Of the season.
Right. When they were just like, whatever, we're going to play our meta.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of abandoned that and forced themselves to play goats poorly.
Yeah. But they figured some things out. I think a lot of these teams, the Winston 3-3 is going to work out better for them anyway.
Yeah, for sure. They're definitely a team that very much benefits from that.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to 14-16. Some new teams in this area.
Yeah.
So 14, I have Shanghai. 15, I have Atlanta. And 16, the LA Valiant.
That's fair. All right. At 14, I have the Toronto Defiant. At 15, I have Atlanta Reign. And 16, I have the Houston Outlaws. So 2 of the teams that we were really high on to start the season, the new teams, Toronto and Atlanta, they're in free fall.
Yeah, they're both playing like hot garbage right now.
They really are.
And Atlanta is... Oh, man.
Atlanta's a little more understandable.
It's the
they are
Daco
running
factor, man.
Like more so than losing Defran. Daco not being there is absolutely brutal to this team.
Yeah, and losing both of them, really.
Yeah.
And then having the schedule that they have.
Yeah.
Because it's not getting any easier. Because
No.
they got to play New York 2 out of the next 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, and they haven't even gotten to that part of the schedule yet. And that's very worrisome. They might win like 2 games in this stage.
I think we're going to see a lot of that, though, with some of these teams. We're going to see teams go 2-5 and 1-6, and then you get into another... The way the schedule works, you get into one of the schedules where you have the Charge and the Mayhem and Houston on your schedule, or you have one of those weeks where you play those stages where you play Washington twice.
Right.
You're going to be 4 wins or 5 wins, or you're going to be down in the. It's just how the schedule is working too. They got to figure out the Daco situation.
They do. They really got to.
Fried wasn't terrible,
but he's not Daco.
No,
and you really feel the impact that Daco had on this team.
Yeah.
And honestly, he was like, even when they were at their best, like it was very noticeable that Daco was one of the better players on this team.
Yeah.
And him not being there makes a huge difference. And they are not even close to the same team, especially when you lose a guy like Defran on top of that.
Yeah, exactly. And then
it was going to be a tough transition losing Defran as it is, but then you lose a player on the caliber of Daco, and that just it's rough.
Losing 2 of your starting 5 is hard to replace.
It is.
Because you spent all of this time in the offseason trying to get chemistry and get everything working together, and then
now you also all of a sudden have to integrate 2 players that were not on your team and replace 2 of your best players.
Yeah.
That's a tall task.
Because I guess he's having, and this is going to go further on and to talk about Atlanta. So I guess he's having a problem, or had a problem, with the flex support with Kodak and Dogman, which, to be honest, I kind of got to back him up on that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They have their moments when those 2 guys have their moments when they're absolutely fucking phenomenal.
Right. Like, but they are just too inconsistent, and that's the problem. And then also on top of that, you're not able to get any consistency either out of them because you're flip-flopping them in all the time. So that's definitely not helping the situation either.
And that goes back to like a lot of the conversations we had last year. All right, maybe you flip in your DPS guys, that's all right. Maybe you flip in your flex tank if you're running something different, like you want to run a Roadhog Zard. Like last year was we got Li Jiang on the map. For
right,
on the
so
map
you
pool,
put
so
in, you put in a Zarya or
a Zarya Roadhog kind of guy, or Junkertown.
Junkertown, you throw in you do a Orisa Roadhog so you can do the hook combo, like that kind of thing. So you throw like a DPS on your off tank or something like that. But when it's like, if they're going to be playing the same character, it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, and I think Dogman has and Kodak. Honestly, he's good too. Dogman, his Ana's pretty filthy.
Yeah, his Ana is gross.
He's really good at like sleep darts and things like that. But there are just times that it's like not falling asleep or something he gets tilted. I don't know what happens. Right. It's just like one of those shit goes weird.
Yeah.
He gets picked for no reason. Yeah. It's just there's certain things I think the dude has potential to be really fucking good. But the guy they need back in there is Dacko.
Yeah, and that's going to make the biggest difference. From what we've seen, there's a very good possibility that he could come back this week. This is kind of the week that everybody's been pegging that he will come back, and that, I think, is going to make the biggest difference for this team. Yeah. And of whether or not he comes back. Because if he doesn't, then they're going to continue to fall. If he does, then they have the potential to look a lot lot Yeah, and I think we'll really see just how much of an impact he has if he does come back.
Yeah, I mean, and guys like even like we didn't talk about Baby Bay. He didn't look terrible.
No, Baby Bay, honestly,
he's getting integrated into playing. Yeah, again.
He's getting integrated in, and he's still got it. Honestly, like his aim is still really good. He's still a very, very good player. Yeah. I mean, obviously he's not on the level of Defran.
Once in a while.
He's not the level of Defran.
No.
And his grabs aren't the best, but
I think he had one where he shot it into the wall on Busan, and I was like, ew.
Ew. Yeah.
That was an ugly one there.
Yeah.
Like King.
But overall, like
they have potential to get back.
They do have the potential to get back, for sure.
It's just right now, their schedule's daunting, to say the least. And you're integrating two players, they just don't look good.
Yeah.
And Toronto, to some of that, with Toronto, you lose a guy like we talked about.
Yeah.
So you lose Stellar, who's an amazing Brigitte and a leader on the team. And you bring in this kid who's never been on stage for hardly at all.
He was a streamer. I mean, he played a little Contenders, but he was mostly coming from streaming, playing in ladder.
He has potential, but he's so raw and they won't put Asher in because this kid offers more flexibility.
Right.
I guess, and now they're going to be switching up the Brigitte. I think they're going to put Ivy on Brigitte and throw IM37
and they did a little bit of that. Yeah. They had IM37 on Zarya in a few maps, but they're kind of switching back and forth, trying to figuring out how best to integrate these guys into these situations. But I mean, I feel like of those two teams, I feel like Toronto has the potential to make a comeback more so than Atlanta.
Because there's weird shit going on. It seems like because if Dacko's getting sat down because he's having a problem.
Yeah.
With the flex support situation, that means there's fighting going on.
Right.
That means that there's discord on your team, and that's never good.
No, that is always just toxic to your team environment. Whereas Toronto, I just think overall they still have strong talent in places that really matter. In Neko, Envy, Ivy.
Yeah, and even IM37.
And now getting IM37 integrated, and I think getting him more accustomed to playing in this way. I think once they get that sorted out, I think at stage 3 they're going to come back and be a lot better.
Yeah, and I think they need to sort out Yakpung as well. Yeah. He's kind of a feeder right now.
Yeah, they need to figure out what to do with him. Whether it's to just constantly run Winston Goats, or to just pick up a new main tank altogether.
Yeah, because his other main tanks, it's the same as some of the other guys.
Yeah.
His Reinhardt is not good.
Yeah, mediocre at best.
And he tries to be bumper.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Right.
There's only one guy that can do that. Like we used to say with Jonak last year. There's only one guy that can do that, and that's Jonak.
Exactly.
And that goes the same for Bumper.
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't try it. Don't try this at home, kids.
Right? For sure.
And please don't try that in any of my matches anymore.
Yeah.
Unless it's me doing it to be an idiot.
All right, so you want to talk about the bottom of the barrel?
Yeah, let's hit the shit fest.
The last 4.
Yeah.
We got 17 through 20. Who do you got?
I got 17, everybody's favorite team, the Houston 14-year-old girls, Outlaws. At 18, a new team dropping down. I have the Guangzhou Charge. And then 19 and 20, the usual candidates. I have Washington and Florida. I just flip-flop them every week for fun.
Yeah, right. At this point.
Although I had Florida at 17 last week because other teams were more shit than them.
Yeah, right.
Which doesn't happen very often, so I take great pride in that.
So at 17, I had the Valiant. At 18, I had the Justice. I moved them up a decent amount because even though they lost, I think they looked better. And then 19, I have Guangzhou. Mostly I moved Washington up because Guangzhou has been so putrid that
they
are worse.
They are on a 23 map losing streak. The only team that has more is Shanghai
from last year.
So,
and I think they're coming up on that. I think what was Shanghai's? I think
Shanghai was 24. They were 20. They're at 23 right now.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
that's a record you don't want to get.
No.
And they're probably about to...
The most unlikely team, too, because you would think Florida, Washington...
Right.
And in certain aspects, you might have thought the Valiant... you might have thought the Valiant would go on a streak like that at this stage. But,
There's a good shot because they're playing Hangzhou.
Who's playing better.
Who's playing a lot better. So we'll see. I mean, that's probably their best chance that they've had so far to really pick up some stuff, but at the same point, they could still get 4-0'd.
Yeah.
Depending on which Hangzhou shows up.
I mean, they still could get 3-1 and just pick up the last map and break the record.
But they could, I mean, they could still set that new record.
Which nobody wants.
No, that is a record you don't want. And then my last team was Florida Mayhem.
Yeah.
They just look putrid.
Yeah, they're terrible. I talk enough about them.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was trying to do that, we wanted to see, people want to see my reaction watching the Mayhem. I was just laughing.
Right.
I mean, how many teams go into a fight? This is what, I almost like watching this tier because it makes me feel good about my shit play. Because how many teams go into a fight with 4 ultimates, the other team has rally.
Yeah.
And you fucking yeet every fucking one of them, man. How? Like, wasted shatter. Oh, that was the first one. I was like, the shatter's wasted. And then here comes the avalanche and the other shit.
Right.
We're gonna fucking pile the support ultimates on top. And it's like all of these teams do that. And it's like, then when they play each other, it's even worse. But,
right. Honestly, the team that showed kind of the most promise in this tier is Washington, yeah.
We didn't talk about the Valiant because they got smart and they put big brain in. That's all I gotta say about them.
Right.
That's why they won.
Yep.
Cuss is in there.
Cuss is in there. He's getting more and more comfortable playing Lucio. They're starting to look better. They're still not good.
No.
Or anywhere close to it. But
they're not garbage.
They're showing flashes of where they have the potential to be. They got to figure out what the hell is going on with Space.
Yeah, he looked decent this week.
He looked better.
I think it's the Custa factor.
Yeah,
man.
It really is the Custa factor. But yeah, let's talk
about Washington.
A little Washington. Honestly, they have some players that show some really promising things.
Like Corey on Widowmaker is pretty sick.
Yes, Corey is a really good Widowmaker. My God,
they're bad. And at some point they did lose their assistant GM. And when are people going to start fucking railing on the Wizard?
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to have to take these guys and mold them into some kind of machine.
Well, you're a pretty poor machine.
He molded them into a fucking 95 Buick.
Right. Like the engine's working, but everything is rusting apart and falling off of it.
But I think Ark's making a difference too.
Yeah.
And one of the things I noticed is you could tell the shot calling's better.
Yes.
And because Ark is a fantastic shot caller.
Yeah.
He still can't stop his best bud from fucking feeding, but...
Oh, yeah. Janice, it's like,
Janice, come back!
Right?
Never mind. I'll see you coming up behind us here in a minute.
You'll be back here in a minute.
Yeah. But they looked better. I have them at 19 because they're still a mess and they keep losing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But they're showing a little more potential and they're showing some signs of life.
Yeah. It's not always terrible. There are moments when you're like, okay, this is actually going well.
Like, basically, they're on life support instead of, like, a couple of beats per minute. They're at, like, a few more. Yeah. Like, they're just... It's like the right person touched them, and now their heart's beating a little faster.
Is it Arc?
Yeah, right. Basically,
it's Arc. It's the magic of Arc. See, Arc.
Oh, there's some brain activity showing now. They've been brain dead for a month, and now there's brain activity.
Well, I think one of the things that, like, even if you look at the New York game. Mm-hmm. Jonik had to go fucking ham.
Right.
Or they were going to take that. They were going to take that.
They were probably going to take that, for sure.
And
they had the upper hand on that in every way, shape, or form. And then Jonik's just like, oh, hold the phone.
I kill everyone. I am not letting Vancouver kill everyone with taking my spotlight.
And the map that really stood out for me was in the Atlanta match, Anubis.
Yeah.
They're just across the board, they looked fantastic on that map.
They did. And, they're playing comps that they can play.
Yes.
Too.
Right. And that's the thing is I think if they can start to just say, fuck it, and playing compositions that cater more to their strength instead of just forcing themselves to play compositions that they're not good at.
Yeah. Then they have against the wall for no reason.
They have the potential to be a better team.
Yeah, I wouldn't put them up higher until they make some roster moves.
Yeah, for sure. But they could pull out a few surprising wins, and they could beat all of these bottom tier teams.
Yeah,
if they just kind of step it up in that way.
Yeah,
and then maybe surprise some of the middle tiers.
Yeah, give someone a big scare like in that 10 to 14 range.
Yeah.
Like a team like Shanghai or something like that. It's kind of inconsistent.
Team like Shanghai or Hangzhou or even like right now Toronto. Yeah.
Teams that are kind of like shaky.
Yes.
They could give them a big scare.
Yeah, for sure. I think they have that potential.
But yeah.
The bottom of the bottom.
Do we need to talk about Houston? We spent a lot of time talking about Houston. I don't think so.
No, not really.
We talked about the Charge a little bit too. And
and they're dumpster fire. They are.
Houston just whatever.
Right.
Do what you do.
Keep Sack losing. Up.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to, like, I was thinking about this yesterday. I want to get a picture of a baby in a cowboy hat and just make that their logo. Just like, but like, have it doing like different reactions. Like, oh, we took a map and it's like all happy and like, oh, we lost and the baby's just crying super loud. Like, just stuff like that. Like, because that's basically what is happening anymore.
We can take the old Dallas fuel crying baby one we had last year and just put an Outlaw's diaper on it.
Yes. Oh, God.
That wouldn't be fair to Dallas, though. They're playing well.
No, they really are.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for the bottom. I mean, what else is there to say about... They're all hot garbage.
Yeah.
And you know what? If Houston thinks they're going to learn stuff by playing 3 to beat teams that are worse than them, well, there's 3 other teams that are worse than them. So there's 3 wins.
Yeah, there you go, guys.
See how many stage playoffs that gets you to.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's move on. We'll do
we'll do a little preview of the week to come.
Yeah.
There's a couple of days this week in particular that have some really good matches.
And there's a couple of days that are just meh.
Total duds.
Yeah.
So Thursday, we're starting out. We got a couple of games. We're not going to spend too much time on it, but New York-Philly has the potential to be a really good match. But the one that we're really kind of watching for is going to be Vancouver versus Dallas.
I think Dallas is going to give them
I think they're going to give them a
workout.
Yeah.
I don't know if Dallas can win.
Yeah, I
feel like they're going to give them a fight,
they give them a fight. They keep it close throughout.
Yeah, I do too. I think they can,
because I feel like they're not going to just cater to, oh, we're just going to play 3-3 because that's the best counter to that.
Right. They're going to play what they're good at, which right now is Winston Goats.
Yes.
With Oj.
Yes.
And which it's still the 3-3, but they can flex out of that.
They can flex
just
out of
as
that,
fast,
and then
they can put Zachary on Sombra.
And you can have, and then you still have, you put AKM on Sombra, you throw, and then you still have Oj and Note. Honestly, has the potential to be like probably the best tank combo in the league because man, did they looked like a new team.
Yeah, they did
when those two were playing together. Like the full potential of what Oj can do is being realized now that they have a player like Note. And that's not anything against RCK or anybody else that they had, because he looked really good with him as well, but I mean, Note is just taking it to another level, because Note he is the quintessential diva main. Yeah. And probably one of the best only diva players in the league.
Yeah. I mean, he flexes out a little bit here and there, but him and Oj right now, I think it seems like Oj is a lot more comfortable with his playstyle.
Yes.
And I like Note's playstyle because he can kind of go back and forth.
He's
aggressive, but he can also do the defensive stuff.
He's where he needs to be at all times. He is just the quintessential off tank. He's aggressive when he needs to be. He's defensive when he needs to be. Yeah. And he just knows where the best place he can be.
Yeah, his positioning is fantastic.
Yeah, his positioning is amazing, and he just if he needs to peel, he's there. If he needs to push somebody off somewhere, or just pester somebody, he's there. He's just everywhere he needs to be at all times.
Yeah, he is, and I think they're going to give him a fight.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think they're going to win, but I think this is going to be a really entertaining match.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's going to be a big test for Vancouver, and maybe they do lose.
Finally, it's going to be nice to just finally see some teams put up a fight against Vancouver.
Yeah. Or not.
Or not. Yeah, I mean, there's also that possibility of Vancouver can just be like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, but we're just going to roll.
Yeah. They'll play with their food for a little bit and do what they do.
Exactly.
There's a lot of there's a lot of matches that are going to potentially end bad on Thursday.
Yeah.
And Friday, really, for that matter. And then there's a match that nobody wants, the Valiant in Washington.
Yeah.
Which, who knows what had happened with that. So we're not going to talk about that. We're going to move into Saturday, where there's 3 matches that are fantastic. Which basically, sit down and watch some Overwatch League on Saturday.
Yeah, right? You got family at home coming in for the holiday on Sunday. Go to your room or wherever you watch and ignore them and watch this instead. Yeah. Because you got London versus Boston. Holy crap.
This is going to be good.
I am so excited for this match because the way that Boston's been playing, the way that London's been playing, this is 2 juggernauts.
Yeah, and they
kind of going against each other as far as the mid-tier teams.
Yeah, they mix it up too.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
You get a little somber goats here and there. You get a little DPS. You're going to get a good match. This is a close match.
This has the potential to have some of the most hero diversity of any match we see this weekend, other than probably the last match of this day.
Yeah, or the last match of Friday for that matter. Hangzhou and Guangzhou.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Gladiators Chengdu has the potential to really show a lot of. Because the Gladiators aren't scared to throw out some wonkiness.
No, they will. They always do.
They do.
Yeah,
they love it.
Yeah, and they play to their strengths.
Right, absolutely. But this game with London, Boston, I think this is going to be. It's going to be a fun one. Then you can probably go grab some lunch. Yeah. Just kind of watch it on your phone with the Shanghai, Florida match.
Do you really need to watch that?
But then make sure you're there because this is always an entertaining game.
Oh, yeah.
Dallas, Seoul.
No matter what their records are, too. It's a weird rivalry kind of
thing. It really is. I love it.
Seoul really needs to win this.
They really do. Because they've got a pretty brutal schedule this stage. And
most likely Dallas is going to be coming off the Vancouver game with a loss.
Yeah. And so they're going to be hungry to win, and they have this. I'm sure they have this game circled as because there's just so much depth to it. You've got even though how many players on Dallas are even from the Envious roster anymore?
Oh, there's still a few, couple. They're more rogue than they are fucking...
Yeah. Right.
Anyway.
But, I mean, for some reason, like, with these two teams, there's a good rivalry, and I love seeing that, so that's going to be fun. And then we talked a little bit about it with Saturday, the last game of the match, or last game of the day. We got the Gladiators, Chengdu.
This is going to be the fun one.
Yes.
I think Chengdu is going to give them a run.
Oh, for sure. I think this match is going to go to 5.
Yeah, but the one caveat to the whole thing is where I think the Gladiators, since they do play off-meta stuff and weird stuff on occasion, and they did it all last year...
They're not going to be afraid to bust that out.
Yeah, they're not going to be afraid to bust it out, and they're going to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, everybody's seen what Chengdu does now.
Right.
But it still doesn't mean you can stop it, but they play against it and play it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes playing those heroes...
It gives you a much higher advantage, and you... At least you can take advantage of the mistakes that they and like you can exploit some of the things that they're going to do a lot easier because you know what the weaknesses are of those comps. Oh, because you've played them yourselves. And
then Easter Sunday, let's move into that.
Not really a whole lot.
Maybe
potentially the Vancouver-Boston game could be pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the Hangzhou-San Francisco game has potential. Depending if Hangzhou has really figured it out by that point. They could really give San Francisco some fits.
Yeah. And the other two games are kind of...
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Houston and Shanghai and Atlanta and Guangzhou to close out the night. Okay, so that's going to do it for the bottom half of the power rankings and for our match preview. Stay tuned. We're going to give you a scheduling announcement. We do the Sunday back cap. It is Easter Sunday. We're going to give you a different time because... everybody's got family stuff going on. We do it later at night, but we have scheduling stuff that we have going on too. So we will inform you on social media. So, keep an eye out on Twitter, update you guys as to, what's going to go on Sunday back half this week. Plus, there's Game of Thrones and all that stuff too.
Right.
Easter dinner might have to end, the party might end a little earlier.
Right.
Because we got to make sure we get that in. Anyway. So you guys have a good rest of your week. Enjoy the matches this week. Thanks a lot for joining us. If you're on YouTube, thanks a lot. And hit a like and a subscribe. If you are listening in podcast form on any of your podcast catcher things like iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, hit a like or give us a rating. Help us out. That would be great. We also have a Patreon page where we're going to be uploading some stuff. Look for some stuff maybe in this week where we're doing
we might do all 3 of them, honestly.
Yeah, we might do all 3 of them.
The Storm Rising or Rising Storm or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
I don't know why we already forgot. But we'll probably
Storm, Uprising and Retribution. We'll do a run on those.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe we'll do like an all heroes thing and we'll fuck around with that.
Or maybe we'll do, we might do a, just some like random arcade things. We could do like some mystery heroes, something like that. Yeah. Throw that on there.
And the key thing is you guys get to see how trash I am at DPS.
Right?
All right, guys. So thanks a lot. You have a good rest of your day, and we will talk to you later.
Catch you guys on the next one. Later.